Here again with another Breaking Bad Season 4 episode review video. Before I get into that though, pretty important, if you are caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching Breaking Bad, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description if that happens to be the case and you find out you're not caught up. It would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And for all of you out there that are wondering, I've seen Breaking Bad many times. This is at least my 8th time watching the show. I kid you not. It might even be my 10th time watching the show. So join me on the journey and discuss the show with me, as well as the man, the myth, the legend, the Lucifer fan, the Dexter fan, and the Breaking Bad fan himself, Crazy Coffee Man, in the comments section. With all that in mind, this will be Breaking Bad Season 4, Episode 12. The title of this episode is called End Times. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So we have DEA agents come to the White residence. They're taking them to Hank and Marie's place because for some reason they think the whole family, an extended family, is in danger because of the cartel warning. Walt says he's not going because he's the one that they're after. Skyler's upset and says that there's got to be another way. Walt, how long until you're safe? Till you can work this out? And Walt tells Skyler he's been working under the threat of death during the last year. I should suffer the consequences. Walt says they're coming, no more prolonging. So Walt kind of tells Skyler the truth that he's been under, the threat of death for a long time. And he doesn't want to prolong anything. He wants to deal with it himself and nobody else should get hurt. And then Walt talks to Hank. I got a car wash to run. Do you really think they're going to go after me, the cartel? And then Skyler gets in the vehicle with the DEA agents along with Holly. And Walt stays behind. And then Walt sits outside at his pool. He's playing spin the gun instead of spin the bottle. And then the gun actually points at a plant as Walt looks at that plant. That will be very important in the next episode. Junior is pissed at Walt that he's going to risk his life over some stupid car wash. Marie thinks they're all in danger, and Junior, of course, agrees. Hank tells Gomez to go look into Fring, which surprises Skyler, Marie, and Junior. And Hank suggests that Steve Gomez go to the laundromat and take a look around. It'd be a perfect place to hide a meth lab, he says. Dennis wonders why Steve Gomez and his partner want to take a look at the laundromat. So Dennis is the guy that runs the laundromat for Gustavo Fring or Gus Fring. And Dennis agrees after some hesitation. You know what? I don't want you to get a warrant and have 50 DEA agents come in. If you and your partner just want to look, that's fine, I guess. And he agrees to let Gomez and his partner look around. And they also have a drug dog as well to sniff around the place. And he did not know that was going to be the case. Gomez takes some pictures. Jesse and Tyrus are in the meth lab waiting to see what happens. Gus calls Jesse and says, "This is the result of your former partner." Jesse says if something final happens to Mr. White, we're going to have a problem. Gus says there will be an appropriate response. The DEA leave the laundromat. Jesse gets a ride out to his parked car in the desert, and then Jesse calls Walt. Jesse hangs up on the voicemail for Walt. And then Jesse checks his voicemail messages, and he has a lot of messages on there from Saul Goodman. So Jesse goes to Saul Goodman's office, and when he gets there, Huel pats down Jesse when he comes in. Francesca is shedding papers, and Saul says it's end times, kid. Saul gives Jesse his money and tells him that Gus threatened Walt's family out in the desert, and Saul says to put in a good word with him with Fring. Hank looks at the pictures that Steve Gomez took of the laundromat and thinks it looks clean. Skyler calls Walt and leaves a message. Skyler bumps a cigarette from another DEA agent when she goes outside. Jesse gets a call from Andrea. Brock's sick and in the hospital. Jesse goes to smoke and notices his cigarette with the ricin is missing. Jesse frantically tells Andrea that Brock may have been poisoned, ricin, and Walt's sitting in the dark at his home, and then Jesse comes over, banging on the door. Eventually, Walt lets Jesse in, And Walt tells the story about what Gus did to him in the desert. And then Jesse points a gun at Walt. What did you do? Why? And Jesse accuses Walt of poisoning Brock. Jesse tells Walt that Saul did it. Was that the plan? Why would I poison a child, Walt says. Admit what you did. Jesse pushes Walt down. What would I have to gain? Think about it, Jesse. What would I have to gain? And Walt starts laughing. And then Walt says, I've been waiting all day for Gus to send one of his men to kill me. And it's you. Walt tells Jesse to do it. And then Jesse decides not to kill Walt. Instead, he's going to find the son of a bitch and kill him, because Walt had said there, now who hurts children? I never have, but Gus, we know with what happened to Tomas at the end of season 3. And then Walt says to him, let me help. And then Jesse goes back to the hospital. A woman that works for the hospital threatens to call the security on Jesse because he's not allowed to be in this area. Tyrus goes to the hospital and tells Jesse to leave and go cook a batch. And Tyrus goes after Jesse in the hospital, and Jesse yells, I don't know this guy, call security. And, Walt and Jesse communicate during this, like, did he come? And, they're trying to get Gus to come. And then Walt's making a bomb of some sorts. Gus arrives at the hospital. Tyrus says he'd like to speak to you. He's downstairs. Gus says he needs him back at the lab to cook, and Gus says, is there anything that he can do? And then Jesse mentions to Gus that Brock was poisoned. There's nothing you can do. And Gus tells Jesse that he can stay. And then Gus heads back to his car in the parking garage. Walt's watching, waiting to blow it up, because he put something under it. And then, why did you stop? Gus senses something is wrong, and Gus leaves the parking garage, and Walt's like, don't go. And Walt is actually on the rooftop somewhere else across the street, or even further across the street than the parking lot. Don't go, no! And Walt's upset to end the episode, setting up for season 4, episode 13, Face Off. So pretty good stuff. I don't think it's as good as the previous 2 episodes, but certainly a fun episode setting up the climactic story. This whole story that's been going on for, since season 2, but mainly season 3. I'll score the episode a 9.1 out of 10. My male character of the episode, Jesse, Walt, probably Jesse. Females, obviously, Skylar. She wins every time. I wish Saul Goodman would have more characters in the episode. Maybe I'll have to think more about him once we get to season 5. But, again, good episode. Can't wait to talk about the next episode because, spoiler alert, it's probably my favorite episode of Breaking Bad. Although my opinion may change. I've had some different opinions on this, whatever time it is rewatching, that I think now season 2 is better than season 3. And who knows? So maybe I'll have a completely different opinion on the show. But next episode is one of my favorites. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, or El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please don't forget to Hulk smash the like button. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comments section and discuss the episode with me and Crazy Coffee Man. What would you score the episode? Whom would be your character of the episode as far as male, female, or just pick one? And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe to the channel. You're watching the video anyway. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.